say money don't grow on trees, but it sure as hell jumps across ponds. Meet the frog, part philosopher, part hustler, and 100% amphibious attitude. He don't leap for nobody. The world just moves around him. He's been bouncing checks since the 90s and still somehow lands on his feet. The Frog Energy Drink, now available. Introducing the Frog Energy Drink for when life's swampy and you need that jump start to slap reality back into shape. Made with 100% street wisdom, caffeine, and the tears of your doubters. Pulling up to the club on a leaf boat with LED lights. Winking at Angie across the bar. Hopping over bills and haters alike. It's not just a drink, it's a lifestyle. You don't sip it, you commit to it. Whether you're hustling in the swamp or dealing with clowns in the city, one can of this, and you're hopping over the competition. I don't croak under pressure, I perform. That's right, baby. Stay slick, stay green, stay legendary. The frog, hop heavy, live legendary.
Muggs, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
The YouTube Scumbag Bounty Hunter Squad. The Thirst King. Pizzaverse Western Epic. Written by Bambi Palermo. When water turned to gold. The West had stopped praying. Somewhere along the way, men forgot what rain sounded like. The rivers were bones now white, dry, and cracked. The wells whispered, but nothing came back. The dust got in your lungs, your teeth, your soul. They used to say money was the root of all evil, but out here, water was the new devil. And the man who owned it all was Silas Kane. They called him the Thirst King. He wore white in a land that had forgotten what clean looked like. Built himself a dam across the last living river and charged the world to drink. He said it was business. The rest of us called it blasphemy. When a mother buried her son 'cause she couldn't afford a bucket, word reached men who didn't ask for permission, men who made their own laws with lead. They'd already burned down a railroad and buried a preacher. Now they were riding for water. The YouTube Scumbag Bounty Hunter Squad was coming. The first thing they saw was bones. Cattle, horses, people, whatever died out here, stayed where it fell. Even the vultures left when there was nothing left to eat. Admiral Impeach rode in at the head of the line, his cigar glowing like the last light of decency. His horse looked tired, but the man didn't. He'd buried too many devils to stop now. To his right rode Frank Pecoraro, the Jersey legend, the gambler, the gunfighter, the man who never bluffed. He'd seen the West, but never liked it. Too honest, he said, too dry. Frank believed in sin you could touch neon lights and smoke, not sand and prayers. Behind them came the rest of the crew, Lopez, calm and surgical. Sessa flipping a coin like fate owed him change. Sun-grown, humming some old outlaw hymn, cigar hanging loose. Jim Martin, dead-eyed, steady-handed, rifle across his lap. And Aaron, the kid still green, still believing justice meant something. By the time they reached the ridge, they could see it, a wall of stone and iron cutting across the canyon like a scar. Behind it, the last river in the west, tamed, chained, and bleeding into Kane's empire. And below the dam, a town called Vulture's Basin, half dead, half starving, all out of hope. They rode into Vulture's Basin like ghosts. The streets were quiet, the air dry enough to crack skin. Every window had curtains drawn, not from fear, but from surrender. A preacher's sign still hung above the saloon, "God will provide." But even God needed a permit now. The saloon doors creaked open. Inside, it was paradise cold water, ice, whiskey, and sin. The only man not sweating sat behind the bar, in a white suit, cleaner than mercy, Silas Kane. He smiled like the kind of man who ain't been told no since birth. "Well," he said, eyes gliding over him like flies on meat. "If it ain't the Scumbag squad, heard you boys been cleaning up the West. Good luck washing this one. It's dry." Impeach struck a match and lit his cigar. "We ain't here for luck." Kane laughed, poured himself a tall glass of water, the kind that shimmered. "Care for a sip?" Impeach took it, looked at it, then poured it out onto the floor. "Guess not," Kane said. Frank stepped forward, eyes sharp. "You selling salvation by the ounce now, preacher?" Kane smiled. "It's simple economics, Mr. Pecoraro. You charge for what people can't live without. That's progress." "Funny," said Frank. "That's what they wrote on the gates of hell." The squad stayed the night. Kane had rules, no fighting under his roof. But men like Impeach don't sleep under another man's mercy. That night, while David Lopez scouted the dam, Anthony Sessa found the payroll ledger. Numbers that could buy a kingdom, bribes to sheriffs, politicians, even Pinkertons. And at the bottom of the list, Frank Pecoraro Atlantic City debt, paid in full. Frank froze. That was the game, the one where his partner vanished, the one Kane had orchestrated. Now the man was paying him off in ink, not blood. Frank slammed the book shut. "Impeach," he said, voice low. "This ain't business anymore. It's personal." Impeach puffed slow. "It's always personal, Frankie. They came at dawn." Lopez cut the power to the dam. Jim Martin took the high ridge, rifle barking like thunder. Sessa and Aaron hit the guards. Sungrown led the workers in revolt, screaming through the tunnels with torches and faith. Impeach and Frank stormed the top, straight for Kane. The man stood on the dam, arms spread wide, white suit flapping in the storm. "You'll destroy everything," Kane shouted. "You'll drown the whole damn basin." Impeach raised his revolver. "Then I guess it's your baptism, preacher." The shot cracked. Kane staggered, but he didn't fall. Frank fired next one clean through the chest. Kane stumbled back, arms still wide, like he thought he could stop judgment with charm. Then he fell backwards into his river, into the flood he made. The dam exploded. Water screamed down the canyon, eating everything. The desert was gone. By dawn, Vulture's Basin was underwater, but alive. Kids were laughing in the mud, mothers crying. The river flowed again. The squad stood watching. Aaron asked, "Did we do the right thing?" Impeach didn't look away. "We did what had to be done."
Bambi's School of Street Smarts. Since yous don't listen anyway. Hey, you ever met somebody who couldn't find their way out of a paper bag with GPS and divine intervention? You know, the kind of kid who gets scammed by a guy selling bridges. Yeah, we built a school for him. Welcome to Bambi's School of Street Smarts, where you learn the only curriculum that matters how not to get played. Course List 1, Intro to Common Sense, Beat 101. Learn the basics, like how not to tell strangers online your life story, or how to spot a business opportunity that smells like a pyramid scheme. 2. Advanced BS detection. Bambi herself teaches you how to sniff out a fake wise guy from 3 boroughs away. Real capos talk less, dress better, and don't live stream their crimes, capiche? 3. Situational awareness. 202. Learn to read a room, whether it's a sit-down, a live stream, or your cousin's shady poker night. Instructor, Agent Lopez, retired from teaching feds how to keep their heads down. 4. Emotional armor. 303, taught by Bambi herself. You'll master the art of not reacting when someone tests you, because in this life, whoever loses their cool first, loses. 5. The hustler's ethics. 401. Yeah, we got ethics. Just our kind of ethics. Don't steal from family. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. And for the love of marinara, always pay the guy who prints your flyers. A guy ducking a flying cannoli. A girl checking her surroundings before making a deal. One poor bastard getting yelled at for trusting a dude named Crypto Carmine. Street smarts ain't something you're born with. It's something you earn. That's right. We don't hand out diplomas. We hand out survival instincts. Graduate from here, you ain't just smart, you're unscammable. Enroll now in Bambi's School of Street Smarts. We turn pigeons into pros. Classes fill up fast. Call 1-800-FORGET-ABOUT-IT or visit pizzaversestudios.com/smarts. Limited seats, unlimited attitude. Bambi's School of Street Smarts, where common sense gets made.
Frank flicked his cigar into the flood. Same thing, kid. The water carried it away, glowing faint before it sank. They mounted up slow. Lopez led the way east, sun-grown, humming low, the air smelling like rain for the first time in years. And somewhere behind him, a bell was ringing in the flooded church. Maybe it was God. Maybe it was the devil laughing. Didn't matter. They were already riding for the next sin. So that's the story, Kid the Thirst King. The man who bottled God and tried to sell him back to the desperate. And the crew that broke the bottle. Justice out here don't wear a badge. It bleeds. It burns. It costs. Impeach, Lopez, Sessa, Sungrown, Aaron, Martin, and Frank. They don't ride for glory. They ride 'cause no one else will. So if you're like your westerns mean, your justice crooked, and your heroes tired, hit that subscribe button and saddle up with the Pizzaverse. Next time on the YouTube Scumbag Bounty Hunter Squad, Judge Holloway's last trial. Thunder cracks, the sound of a gavel echoing like a gunshot. A man sits behind a bench carved from oak and lies. His robes black as midnight, his smiles colder. Judge Alistair Holloway. They call him the Law of the West. But he ain't law, he's ownership. He bought his courthouse the same way Kane bought his dam with souls. And now he's putting warrants out for the bounty hunter squad themselves. Crimes against the state, he says. Murder, robbery, rebellion. They call it justice. We call it Tuesday. When the squad rides into his town, they ain't facing gunmen or bandits. They're facing the law itself. And this time, the gallows got their names on it. But Frank Pecораro's already got a plan. Impeach is already digging graves. And Lopez, he's got a list. Next time on the YouTube Scumbag Bounty Hunter Squad. Judge Holloway's last trial. Justice will be served. But not fairly.